Hey everybody, and welcome back and Happy New Year. I am Eric for President, and you know the drill, your one-stop shop for 5 VR stories you missed over the past couple of days. Today we have 2 pieces of new VR tech coming that I want to discuss. We need to go over a better way to record in the Oculus Quest, a topic on why VR can be so hard to play, and more. But first, as always, a few things in VR making me smile. Super Hot VR grossing over $2 million in 7 days alone. There's your middle finger to all the VR's dying clickbait videos. Mike Shapiro, the G-Man himself, wishing us a happy yet ominous sounding Happy New Year. And lastly, the king himself, LeBron James, sharing the Oculus Quest joy to his 50+ million followers. Not bad publicity there. All links for those will of course be in the description. I owe my fellow weebs an apology. Ka-no-jo. VR Kanojo. I bring great shame, great shame. One last housekeeping item, there are 5 days left to join the Oculus Quest headset giveaway. The link and how to enter that will be in the pinned comment along with the timestamps for all stories in this video. If anyone leaves a positive comment, positive about anything on this video, just spreading some positivity, I'll give you one more entry into the contest. Good luck to all. Next video will most likely be when the winner is announced. With that being said though, make sure to leave a like to support this video, share it with a friend, and let's get into the VR news. Cheers. So Minecraft for the Oculus Quest is probably one of, if not the most requested game for the Oculus Quest, and although I'm not convinced it's ever coming, there is a clone playable right now for the Oculus Quest that you want to know about it. Let's jump into it. Voxel Works Quest Minecraft clone basically is mine and craft in 6 degrees of freedom, but no joke, it's a workout for now at least. A prototype for jog-in-place locomotion on Oculus Quest using the Godot game engine to explore an infinite procedurally generated voxel world. This is an early version and there are not a lot of mechanics and items implemented yet. You can craft wood from a tree, sticks from wood, and a wooden pick from 2 sticks and 3 wood, but this version has hand tracking enabled, but keep in mind that you need good conditions for hand tracking to work reliably enough for gaming. Touch controllers are the recommended way to play though. As you can see from the trailer here, you do jog in place to move forward, so New Year resolutions should get use out of this game, but the developer has said he is working on other locomotion options as well. Either way, this is a super early version, but it shows promise and I hope you try it. And I also hope that you report your experience and thoughts to the developer because he is at least trying to give the people what they want, Minecraft native for the Oculus Quest. Now, I of course am not the biggest fan of the jogging mechanic. I thought I had to jog quite a bit to get a little bit of distance and it was quite tiring, but it was a great workout and the developer is implementing better ways to move in the future. But go ahead and give this game a try. You will need side quests as well as the free APK file down in the description to play this, but give it a try. Let the developer know what he can do to make it better because he is our VR badass of the day, giving Minecraft to the people the best way he can. So go give it a try and let me know what you think of this down in the comments. Moving on, from ActiTouch and Facebook Reality Labs, there's future innovation coming in new tech for VR that will help AR and VR, specifically the Oculus Quest, and I always love sharing new tech stories and y'all seem to like them very much, so let's jump into something that you could be using in VR coming soon. Taken directly from Future Interfaces Group website, ActiTouch allows users to use their hands and arms as readily available touch input surfaces for AR and VR, opening a new interaction opportunity beyond conventional controllers and in-air gestures. They invented a powerful sensor method which combines an electrical method with computer vision. This enables precise on-skin touch interactions, which uniquely enables many fine-grained touch interactions such as scrolling and swiping. I think this will be extremely specific to AR interactions in the future. However, the Oculus Quest is the likely candidate for something like this since it is already using its onboard cameras for hand tracking. And although it may not solve them fully, this actually has the applications that help 2 main problems with the Oculus Quest and VR in general. For one, VR menus in many games have been cumbersome and easily breaking the VR immersion to me. Menus are hard to do in VR as I think developers are still trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. A scrolling and touch input on the forearm to me is the epitome of immersiveness and what we think of futuristic tech. Also with hand tracking, the immersiveness of haptics disappears with no controller feedback, and possibly the sensation of having in-game arms and the feeling of you touching your actual skin to scroll through menus and options adds manual haptic feedback leading to further immersion. These are of course just 2 things that come to mind when I saw this piece of tech, and of course all this coming to a home near you is very far from the future, but I think it solves a lot of problems that happens, especially menus. I hate VR menus. They really never seem to work out in most games, and this adds a cool new dimension, but I'm more interested to hear your thoughts down in the comments. Before getting into some actual news stories, now more of an opinion piece, an opinion that I saw on Reddit that I think is very important to share because it encourages minimalism in the VR space, but more importantly, something that VR enthusiasts like you watching this and myself need to keep in mind when pitching VR to other people. I'm very excited to talk about this, so let's get into this opinion piece. So Redditor Dougie126 posted this question in the virtual reality subreddit. Does anyone else feel lazy and unmotivated to use their VR? But once you do, you don't take it off for hours? And you know what? I completely 100% agree with Dougie126 and want to really hear your thoughts on this. So just for a moment, put the Oculus Quest way outside of your head and think PCVR only. Not only do you need to have the hardware knowledge for the PC and the headset if you're choosing, but also the software knowledge like SteamVR or the Oculus system itself. And for those who use SteamVR with say the Valve Index like I do, it's not if, but when you'll probably have a troubleshooting error. So even if you're a computer whiz and you've been using it all your life, troubleshooting is kind of a way for life for PC players. And for VR, there's a lot of problems, and VR playing is just generally hard. Stay with me here though, because there's a point to everything I just said that VR lovers need to understand when recommending VR to other people, and why I highlighted this Reddit story. If it is easy for you and that seemed like an exaggeration, good for you, and I do believe you, but first-hand experiences are different for everyone, and I have had almost every VR issue imaginable. And knowing these issues exist has caused me to many of times keep my ass on the couch and watch TV rather than play VR. Yet every time I did get my ass up and play VR, I realized I was a fool for letting the problems get to me and keep me from entering the metaverse. And there's a reason the Oculus Quest is just dominating the VR news scene, and there's a reason I can't give you Oculus Rift S news as much as I want, because the Oculus Quest is solving a lot of problems that I want to get into. Being a standalone unit, the amount of problems minimizes itself, leading to, I think, less reluctance to tackle potential problems and more anticipation of an amazing VR experience. The Oculus Quest still has its problems, it's not even near perfect, but the question from Dougie is a reminder to VR creators, VR advocates, and anyone trying to spread VR to the people that even the most die-hard advocates of VR still sometimes have reluctance to jump in. And when trying to convert new users, we need to express the VR experience and why it's worth these potential hurdles to keep entering the metaverse again and again. Now, of course, over time, I think VR will become more minimalist in nature and require less and less utility for it. That's why I think that people creating VR accessories, it's great that you're pushing the medium forward. However, people are just not going to dress up, at least not mainstream dress up, to get into VR. But I'm very interested to hear your thoughts on this. How will you advocate VR to other people? How will you get them past these hurdles? And what do you think about this Reddit question itself? Let me know down in the comments. Moving right along though, for those who are recording on the Oculus Quest and like to share that footage with friends, family, as well as on YouTube, there's a better way to do it now. That way the orientation of the recording looks better, that being widescreen. Let's get into it. The normal view when uploading Oculus Quest footage, as many of you know, looks like this, and if you are like me, this is just not the best looking way. Originally posted on Reddit with the script by CTallBot4, it provided a way for widescreen recording such as this with a landscape resolution. An Oculus Quest widescreen recording toolkit was then provided by this user, I don't want to mispronounce the name, which makes it extremely easy not to have your Oculus Quest recording look like this again. Here is the easy process. 1. Install SideQuest onto your PC, which is easy to do, and there are a ton of tutorials on YouTube for it. Number 2. Download the widescreen toolkit with the link provided in the description. And number 3, make sure your Oculus Quest is connected to your PC with SideQuest running and run the Toolkit app and you're good to go. There is a link for a full video tutorial on this in the description, what you're seeing here run in the background. As with almost everything in the VR scene, the users are the #1 heroes that keep innovating basically the Oculus Quest and VR in general to keep making it better and more usable for everyone. So for everyone involved in this mod and toolkit, thank you. You are again the VR badasses of the day. And for our final story today, if you're looking for a Valve Index control alternative, well, you may be able to kickstart something because if you're like me, I'm sick of RMAs. The ET is the first 5-finger tracking controller. Now, while traditional controllers use binary buttons, ET allows for gestural and grip-based controls. The controller fits over the hand, freeing the palm while still providing something to grab onto. As seen on the video, it not only detects touch, but also proximity. As fingers bend, the green bars indicate proximity and light touch through to a squeeze gesture. When orange bars are visible, the controller detects maximum pressure and engages an embedded haptic engine. This enables the user to experience, manipulate, and work within his environment in new and exciting ways. Further gestures beyond the pinch, squeeze, and point can be implemented in the firmware based on custom requirements. Now for this is SteamVR based, so you will need lighthouses to use it, so keep that in mind. And of course, like every other Kickstarter, my warning with Kickstarters is you are funding innovation, but you are basically never going to be promised to get the actual product under any kind of deadline or even get it in general. So do this at your own discretion, but if you like to kickstart innovation and technology for VR, the link for the Kickstarter and the page for this will be in the description. But if you're like me, with how many index controllers I've gone through, an alternative is heavily welcome. That way I don't have to wait 2 to 3 months every time I need to RMA them, and I'm on the 3rd one right now. With that being said, that is it for today's video. Again, Happy New Year. This is the first video of the new year, and I'm looking forward to possibly hitting 100,000 subscribers this year. That is the minimum goal I have for this channel, so every share, like helps with that. So please leave a like to support this video, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to never miss an upload. Join the spaceship on Patreon because every dollar in there gets reinvested back to y'all. And with that being said, for the first time in 2020, I'll see you on the next one, VR Space Cowboys. Cheers.